Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining today's webinar hosted by Insight Software. My name is Caitlin, and I'm going to be our moderator for today. Today's discussion is going to be how you can boost visibility with 5 essential Excel reports. Now, before I pass it over to your speaker, I'm going to quickly go through today's agenda. So first, you're going to meet your speaker as well as learn a little bit about Insight Software. And then we're going to dive into these top 5 reports and common processes around them. And then from there, we're going to dive into what the key is to boosting visibility. And then our speaker is going to give you a live demonstration with a solution in action. And then we will wrap with concluding thoughts and Q&A. With that, over to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Caitlin, and welcome everyone. Again, my name is Kevin Gibson. I am a senior solutions engineer. I always like to say it's just a fancy way of saying I'm the demo guy. So I'm going to walk you through what this presentation is about, what's it for, obviously what is it that we do, and then ultimately show you how we do it. But as far as my background, I'm a CPA. I'm a finance individual. I've lived and breathed in this space for a very long time. I've actually been involved with the product that you'll see today. I've been involved with it now for about 17 years. Half of those I was a user, and then half of those is doing what I'm doing today, telling my story, presenting to you a product that's going to help in your reporting challenges. So let's get started into this, and I hope you like what we got to offer. Now, a little bit about Insight Software first. Who are we? What do we do? Why are we here? As far as what created this organization? Well, a long story as short as I can make it, our goal is here is to satisfy the requirements of the office of the CFO. Now, that's a broad sort of categorization, but think about all the different areas from FP&A, which you can see some subcategories there, to controllership and capital management. We've created these stacks to sort of put our products into those stacks. So we have more than the one that you're going to see today. We can do budgeting and planning, as we mentioned. We can do treasury, equity management, disclosure management, tax and transfer pricing. There's a lot of different products in our portfolio that you or the office of the CFO may need to help address their challenges. So really, we are a little over 5.5-year-old company. We are the product of acquiring organizations that are in similar function and fashion to satisfy those requirements. We are about 2,500 employees, a little over $500 million annual revenue. So we've been around. We are not new and upcoming. The product you'll see today actually has been around for over 30 years. Now, why are we here? The office of the CFO. Let's break it down simplistically. One of the most important things that office is going to do is obviously controls the financial side of things, and more importantly, the creation and the presentation of that financial data. Now, we've broken that down into 5 sort of key or essential reports. We're not limited to these 5. You're going to see reports today of all forms and fashion, but these are those core 5 that it seems that almost every customer I talk to needs, wants, or has trouble getting data for. So the standard financial statements, then getting into the subledgers of the AP and the AR sections, whether it's just agings or just a listing of outstanding invoices, it doesn't matter. Some of these reports do vary across industry. So again, these are the templates that we've demonstrated for today, but everybody can be different here. You're going to see, and we'll even walk you through a quick report build of how you set these up, and you'll see the flexibility. So don't think about these as canned reports. Think about these more like templates. I like to say it that way because templates can be modified, and canned reports are what they are. You're sort of stuck with them unless you go get a programmer to update them behind the scenes. So again, not focused on the 5 per se, but we will talk about them today as part of this discussion. Now, let's talk about the other side of the story. If those are the 5 key reports, what's the most common and problematic practices that we see with those reports? So, doesn't matter who I talk to, doesn't matter how large or how small they are. The conversation goes like this. We log into our system, also known as an ERP. We log into our ERP, we want to run some reports. We go in, plug in the parameters, filter the data, and then we just simply dump it to Excel, and then we pivot it, we do VLOOKUPs, we reformat it. And as soon as you get that done, someone walks into your office and says, "Oh, I just made 3 journal entries. You're going to have to change your report." Now, you have 2 options. You're either just going to go in and manually change the differences and hope you get them all right, or you're going to walk back through that process that I just described and export it, making the data static. Those days are long gone. Automation is now the key to getting these reports created in the fastest and the best way that you can, leveraging something that you already are using today, which is Excel. So Excel is not the problem. It's the ERP. They're great at holding data, hands down. You can get anything you want and they're very customizable, but they're not real good at giving it back to you because I described a simple process of just one report. Most of you are probably taking 2 and 3 reports, dumping them into Excel, and then trying to merge them together. Our thought process is let's just build one and let it do all the work one time as opposed to 3 different times every single time you want to update it. Here you click a button and you'll get your new data. Now, if this doesn't look familiar to you, it's what I just verbally described. This is how the process started. Steps 1 through 4, that's the exact scenario that I promise you 95% of the customers I talk to go through every day. Doesn't matter what data it is, whether it's a balance sheet or whether it's a list of, maybe you want a list of birthdays, because that's just what you need. As long as it's in there, we can get it. But the challenge for you all today, as it starts with that manual export, the manual reformat, then you share, and then somebody says, I have questions and I'd like to change that. And then you got to go back to step 1 again. So now that leads to limited visibility, increased errors, because the more you touch it, the more you're going to have a chance of not get it correct. Your costs are up. You can have better time doing other things. The integrity of the report starts to be questioned, and then you're missing opportunities to focus on other things. So we like to use a triangle as an example. Today, your triangle is very big at the bottom where you start talking about report creation. The higher you get inside of your triangle, you're running out of time and you're running out of room. And that's where you're spending or going to try to spend to do some analysis. But it's not there. You've spent all your time and wasted all your time trying to put the report together. You have little time to report and analyze on it. We flip that. Our goal is that you spend a little time report building and you spend all the time you want analyzing. It's a simple concept, but it's also hard for a system like an ERP to do because they're just not built to do great reporting. Hence the reason you have all these third-party reporting options that they are now moving to because they simply can't handle what the customer is asking for. Now, the key to evaluating the effectiveness of those 5 essential reports, it's very simple. Automation. Automation is the key. This product, as most customers tell us, not only does it save them time, but it saves them the thought process of I don't have to go in and validate everything every single time I want to go in and update it. Now, I know those are very similar situations because what do they all involve? Time. Everything involves time. Automation saves you the time. What buckets you put it in is really up to you. But you're not starting with the trial balance, if you will, and going to pivot it. You're going to start with the financial statement, and then you're going to drill down into the trial balance if you want to see it. So embracing that automation, as you will see here in just a few moments, is going to be the key to evaluating that effectiveness.